There are two phrases that I've seen popping up more and more often in genealogy groups lately. And both of these phrases can be a sign that something isn't quite right. The phrases to watch out for: according to Ancestry and according to FamilySearch. Why are these phrases a red flag? After all, we're supposed to say where we found our information. The problem is these phrases can point to a common misconception that people have about what is actually on Ancestry and FamilySearch and how those sites function. That misconception, in turn, can lead to adding the wrong people to your family tree. Before I go on, please know that if you have said these phrases or you have this common misconception that I'm about to describe, please don't feel bad. The TV ads make it look like all you have to do is plug in a relative's name and poof, instant family history. In reality, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Saying according to Ancestry or according to FamilySearch makes it sound like Ancestry or FamilySearch has determined what is correct about your family. And that's the common misconception, that everything that you get when you do a search on those sites actually pertains to your family. And that misconception can lead you astray in a couple different ways. Ancestry, FamilySearch, and the other big genealogy websites are made up of different parts. Generally, there is the family tree, and then there are the records. Let's talk first about the trees. The trees that you see on Ancestry, FamilySearch, or the connections you see on Find a Grave, those aren't reviewed by those sites. There isn't an approval process. Literally anybody can put anything in a family tree. I could go create a family tree today and say that I am the granddaughter of Elvis Presley. I'm not, but I could make a family tree that says I am. Now, the trees that we're working with usually don't have just outright fabrications like that, but it doesn't mean that they're accurate. People make mistakes. Ancestry and FamilySearch are not reviewing the accuracy of these trees. So just because you plug in Grandpa's name and it takes his line back to the 1100s, like the song says, it ain't necessarily so. So what we need to do is treat these trees as clues and not as hard facts. That takes care of the trees, but what about the records on those websites? Why can't we say according to Ancestry or according to FamilySearch then? Well, one thing is if you've been relying heavily upon Ancestry's hints, those hints really should be called possibilities. They may or may not actually pertain to your ancestor. It's just something to look at. But if you've been accepting every hint that Ancestry gives you, thinking that, oh, according to Ancestry, this has to pertain to my ancestor, that is a surefire way to make a big mess of your tree. Records themselves can vary in accuracy. Let's say that you found information on Ancestry that gave you your great-grandmother's maiden name. Okay, did you find her birth record, which really should have her maiden name correct? Or did you find that information in a death certificate for one of her children, which may or may not have her maiden name correct? It isn't Ancestry or FamilySearch who determines what is correct. Ultimately, it's up to us as the researchers of our family history. Having this misconception and falling into this trap is so common. But it isn't the only mistake that is common to genealogists. And in this video, I describe some other common mistakes and, more importantly, how you can avoid them. So go check that out and go make some great discoveries in your family tree.